Got a little Sony Micro system in. This is a cassette and CD player and radio, of course. Cassette deck is not working. This is a, relatively late model of these, 2003. We're going to see if we can get this tape deck working. Let's check it out. Today I have a cassette deck, a little Sony CMT EP313. And the complaint on this one is it's not working. The cassette is not working. And he says everything else works. We know the radio works because I tested it out with an antenna. Let's check the CD player, make sure that the CD player works. Complaint isn't for CD though, it's for cassette. I just want to verify that the CD player actually is working before getting into everything else. So CD. And if you're wondering what all that racket is in the background, that's the electric heat. The electric blower behind me makes quite the noise. But it's cold today, it's below freezing. So the CD player is working as expected because, after all, he said that the CD player was working. So we'll switch over to cassette, as that's the complaint on this, is the cassette is not working. Now, I guess for cassette we just push a button and it switches over to tape. So first of all, we'll make sure that motors and stuff are turning before I go to tape. Not that I care, because you see this tape is already foobar because another tape deck already chewed it up. But first things first, let's just make sure that things are moving, and they don't appear to be. Nothing appears to be moving here. Fast forward's not working, play's not working, rewind's not working. So we could have a bad motor, we could have a bad belt. Let's open this one up and find out what's wrong with it. I am bringing out the screw gun just because I know that it gets so many people upset. It's funny, I get complaints from people when I use the screw gun, and then when I don't use the screw gun, I get people asking me why I'm not using one. Seems like you can't please everybody. In the case of YouTube, it seems like you really can't please anyone. This unit is vintage 2003, November 2003. So this unit was made just after I got out of the repair business, which tells you that I've never seen one of these before. But I think I can probably figure out how it opens up. I probably got to take out some screws on the side on this thing too, if I'm not mistaken. There's some screws on the front that have to come out as well. A couple screws down here that need to come out. I think. I could be wrong. And possibly those ones on the side, even though they're not marked with arrows, they likely have to come out as well. These ones here on the side very likely also have to come out. The sides come off, or the side comes off just like that, and we have a broken belt. This should be a real simple one. This belt looks like I could change this thing without even having to do any more than take what I've taken off. Check this out. Simple. I should be able to just loop a new belt right around that pulley and onto the motor. Cool. And there's the broken belt. So let me see if I can find one that'll fit it. Well, I got one that's fairly close, a little bit smaller, which is what we want. So this one here, I should just be able to loop this. Grab my little tools here. Hang the belt on the pulley, and then just loop it over, sort of like this, up and over the motor pulley. Just like that. Okay, let's see if it works. Just slide the case back on, sort of. And the moment of truth. Does it turn? Oh, now if I turn it back on. It does appear to turn. Let's see whether it does anything. Set the speed on this thing too. I think there's a speed control on the back of this motor. It sounds like crap because this tape was recorded in, I think, probably Dolby C is what this was recorded in, so it doesn't sound right. There's a speed control right on the back. So I'm going to hook up my speed test tape, and we'll set the speed on. But as you can see, my speed is 3 kilohertz. That's about as, I haven't even done anything to it. The speed is right. Evidently, for those wondering, I just connected to the speaker terminal because there's no line out on this thing. So I just connected to the speaker terminal. But this unit looks like that's all that was wrong with this one, was a broken belt. What an easy unit to change the belt on. Some of these units are just horrible. Like some of these little mini systems are just horrible to work on, but this one was actually very easy. Not much of a flywheel, but that's again to be expected considering the vintage of this 2003. Cassette decks were, at that point, were pretty much done. And this is a really simple chassis if you look at this thing. Like I'm not going to pull this out or anything, I'm just going to show you guys, but it's a really simple, it's just a one single metal plate, basically. That's the mechanism on this thing. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Just a little stamped steel mechanism with plastic parts. But hey, it gets the job done. And it gets this unit back in service for the owner of it. He'll be thrilled to get his little mini system back because, as he told me when he brought it over to me yesterday, he said, you know, he says, it's a small system, but it just fits perfect in his kitchen, and that's what he uses it. Just in his kitchen to listen to CDs and the odd tape. So, that's it. Belt replaced. Real simple replacement on this one. And I happen to have one, but I'm going to have to order some new belts. I'll have to go on eBay and see what deals they've got on belt kits, I guess. Because that seems to be the only way to get belts these days, is to get an assortment. Ordering in individual belts was cost prohibitive. To go online and find this belt, by the time I got one single belt shipped to me, would probably be $15 to $20 by the time everything was paid. Even the local guy that sells parts, if I order a belt from him, a belt might be $4.95 plus another $4.95 shipping. So now I'm talking $10 for a belt. I can go onto eBay and get 35 belts for $10. And that's generally what I do. Just order some belt kits. Sure, the belts might not be the best quality, but really they're good enough for what we're using these things for these days. They're good enough. So one last test of the tape player. Yeah, I would say it's working. So that's it. This one's done. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one real soon. Bye for now.